Good morning, everybody. We are going back to our normal training this thing because I noticed that some of us have abandoned any form of personal development. So today we are going to be looking at the power of personal growth. So I was reading the story of the guy that said he was traveling and called three of his staff, said he gave one 5 talents, gave the other one 2. So talent is more like, let's call it equivalent of 30 kilogram of gold. So we are looking at giving somebody like $50 million each person. That's what 1 talent means. So he gave one person 5, gave one person 2, gave the other person 1. So, but I was looking at it in our own context. So let's say we look at the talent we have. Which category do we fall in? Because sometimes it's easy to hear these stories and you feel, okay, it's just stories. But you don't ask yourself, where do you fall in? Are we part of the 1 talent people? Meaning that, let's say a company like, who do I use now? This woman that is selling Buka here, just beside where people go to buy food. So let's say she calls us and says, okay, help me grow my business. Do you guys think we can do it? Help her grow her business? Can we improve our business for her? Okay, so it means we are above half talent. So let's say we have somebody like, who would I use now? This man that is selling rod here. And he comes and says, okay, you guys also help me to improve my business. Can we do it? Okay, so it means that at least we are above 1 talent. So we have the capacity to handle those level of business. Now, let's say we have, like somebody like Latafa now that we are managing. And let's say we are doing a good job with it. We have areas like Ziggy's we are managing. So for that, it needs people who have level 2 talents, people who are on level 2 capacity. And if we are already doing it, it means that we have that level of capacity to handle those kind of people. But assuming MTN comes to us, for instance, and they say they are having issue, we should come and help turn MTN around. Do we have that capacity? No. Let's even say, who will I use now? Which other company can I use? Let's say ShopRite, for instance, comes to us and say, help us turn around. Do we have the capacity? No. So, it means that currently, the maximum, because they said that it's those that have the capacity that more things will be given to. Which means for us that the maximum level of people that we can attract and that will come to us, that people will be referring to us, are people in that category 2 level. Meaning that the category 5 kind of people that requires the category 5 level of talent, when they check, can these people do it? They will say no. When they have people in that category and they say, okay, who do we refer you to? If our name comes up, they say no, they can't handle it. Because based on what we've been putting out, they can assess that these people have not gotten to this level 5 category. And a lot of time for people who are struggling in business, they'll be doing their praying and fasting, going to different places seeking for help. But what they fail to realize is that the biggest challenge is from inside. I was looking at some of our designs that we've come up, and I say is if we want to run something, for instance, so it might be acceptable for maybe the level of the traders that we do business with, maybe the level of what's it called, the hotels that we work with. But then when you now get to the level of companies, maybe on the level of MTN, is it acceptable? No. And what this thing means that if we want to grow at any particular point, we are saying we are currently at this level, what will it take us to move from level 2 to level 5? As a company and as individuals, we should constantly be asking ourselves, what I'm doing now, am I on level 1 or on level 2 or on level 5? I'll still come to level 1, people. On the social media platform, let's find top 5 companies that want to benchmark. And Chinenye, also see the challenge too of level 2 when you fail to grow is if you don't push yourself, the leadership ability you are supposed to have will just disappear. Yesterday I was asking Ifeanyi how many posts has his team done. That was when he was starting to check, which one have you done? Asking him what has Chidera done. He said, he's asked him to study Ugochukwu and Joshua. That's not how to develop people. You need to actively get involved because you want to grow. Just imagine that, okay, we want to do 10 posts per day. I say, okay, Ugochukwu do 3, Joshua 3, Chiagozie 3. Chidera, I start to learn. I'm guiding you on how to learn it so that you can also do 2. So if we decide to do 10 posts now per day, between the 3 of them, we already have 9. From him, we have 11. So anyone, if I now does, maybe even he does 1 or 2, we're already at 13. But if we don't sit down, for instance, and say, okay, what do level 5 people do? They plan ahead. Okay, what are we going to create for tomorrow? Tomorrow we are focusing on creating awareness about what we do and how we do it. Chiagozie, do a video about ourselves. Ugochukwu, do designs about what we do. Joshua, run come up with an animated video on what we do. And Chidera, work on something on Canva. Now, instead of me want to approach you guys to do video based on your program, would already have programmed me into your video distance. So, okay, sir, you are doing 2 videos for us. So, 2 hours to this thing, come and remind me. I just want to remind you about your video for today. That way, because you know that you are benchmarking certain people and you need to get that certain number, you already have planned ahead and you assign everybody what they're supposed to do. Not just in them, even when it comes to this other side. Okay, Emanuela, I want you now to focus on running 10 interviews per day. What will it take to do it? Our target is to do 50 per day. How do we get it? Do we get more freelancers to join us? What are the avenues of getting more people? Because you know that these people, if you need to ask when the other guy was coming, number of this thing that Jumperman does, if you ask him, he will tell you. You'll be able to say, okay, if Jumperman are doing this level, so we need to come up to this particular. Any company that wants to grow and stay at level 5 must benchmark top industry leaders. One of the things I did when we got Ziggy's was, I went to Bamboo in Ikeja to see what they are doing. I went to Kingfisher on the island. I also went to Vintage. Because I needed to see people who are in this particular industry, people who are on top of the game, what are they doing? If not, you just feel that you are doing very well without knowing that you are benchmarking the mama put on the street. For instance, a young lady reached out to me that we're supposed to interview for a client, and he said, now one of us that scheduled her for interview, she reached out to the person kept her on hold for about 30 minutes during the online interview. And when it was about time to start the interview, and she told this person it's not right to keep me on hold for these 30 minutes. The person told him that you have a bad attitude, so I'm canceling this interview. So that also tells us the level where we are at. That is one. There are people who sent us If somebody is applying for a job, for instance, and sends out his or her CV, let's say they send it to somebody, which company will I use? Let's say, which international? Let's say Philip Consulting, and they set down the listing, and they need to keep their game at level 5. But for us currently, people sending CVs, I even forward some CVs and nobody follows up. And it's only people at level 2 and below that can do that. Which means if we really want to grow, we need to look at what are the ways we are playing average and how do we improve on those areas. What are the ways that, yes, people that we are serving are okay with what we are doing, but compared to the people at higher level, will what we are doing be okay for them? Now I come to level 1 people. So in the story they said there is the people in the level, the one talent that was given the talent, and they went and buried the talent that was given to them. It means that there are some people in organizations that even the skills they have, they are not even ready to put it to use. Even the ability that they have, you almost like pull out of them for them to even do what they are supposed to do. That area they are supposed to produce something, they are supposed to come work at a particular point, you are almost even going to force them to come to work at that point. The things that they are supposed to do, you have to force them to do the very things that they are supposed to do. And just like that smart businessman did in the story, he took the talent from that person that had 1 and gave it to the person that had 5. Meaning that any company that wants to grow, one of the things they must do is, the person that is not performing, you sack the person, take the person's salary and increase to the person that's giving you very, very good results. This is important because any company that tolerates level 1 people would crash. Any company that must force people to do what they are supposed to do cannot grow. Before you send your report, they must remind you. Before you run the interviews that you're supposed to run, they must remind you. Even when you are marketing your services to customers, you are rude and have bad attitude to it. When one of our clients that we had a session with on Saturday, I said that one of my observations is that the first time I came to their place, I walked into the place, I expected somebody to walk up to me, greet me and show me their product, even if they don't know why I'm there. But everybody just starts, and I just walked in, I had to start asking. Now imagine how many customers they would have been doing that, and how many customers they would have been losing all these years. That's what level 1 people do to organizations. They kill the organization. And companies that want to grow don't allow level 1 people to stay. Because one of the mistakes companies make is that they allow bad staff to stay longer. People who are not adding value and rather are sucking out value. And it's something that we need to take note of, especially in the clients that we are working with. Any company that wants to grow must fire well, but also must fire very fast. If somebody is not adding value to you, you don't say, okay, let's try this. If somebody is a level 1 person in your system, let the person go. So for us, it's also for us to look at within us and say, who is not really adding value to us? Who is on a level 1? Who is that the person that we need to force to do what they are supposed to do? And even if we are on level 2, what are the systems we need to start to put in place to ensure that everybody steps up? That currently we are handling clients like Latafa, Crystal Shine, and all. But if we want to get to the level where we can handle clients like MTN, ShopRite, the big companies, big oil companies, what are the changes that we need to start to make internally to give us the capacity to do that? If not, because one thing about people at level 5 talent is that what should go to others is usually taken from others and given to them, which is why they say that person that had only 1, they took it from him and gave it to the person that had 5. Meaning that if you're on level 2, on level 1, more customers that would have come to you will be taken from you and given to the person who is on level 5. It's why companies that are doing very well, that are already very big, tend to attract more this, and you wonder, why are people not going to this other place? Once you're on level 5, you will suck out customers from people at the lower level. And when you're on level 2, on level 1, people at the higher level will suck up your customers. So our own now, and the job of every MD, every management, and every team is to sit back and say, who are the people that can suck customers away from us? What are the things that they are doing that we can learn from them, and how do we start to do those things? Who are the people who are already doing far better than us in this industry? What are the things that they are doing that is making them attract and retain big customers, and also even sucking up customers from people below them? What are they doing that we need to start to study, to start to learn from them, and we start to do? Because if we keep doing what we are doing, we'll still remain at our level. And any small distance will just drop down to level 1. Level 1 are the people that every time they are struggling. In our industry, I was asking you about your former, where you are coming from, and say, can we get people from? They say no, they've closed. Level 1 companies, once there's any small shake, they go down. Any small issue will knock out level 1 people, because the small customers they have will always be sucked away from them. Level 2 people would yes, survive. They might keep their own customers, they might be growing, but if there's any major issues, level 5 will still come down and suck up from level 2. But the people that will never survive are companies that have staff that are not giving them, that are keeping them at level 1. Means that even the few customers they have will be taken away from them. So it's left for us now to look at, so what we now need to do is to go back now. I want you guys, Chinenye, Princess, Ike, go back and come up with 5 companies in our industry that are the industry leaders. There's something that LinkedIn does, so it ranks you and your top competitors in the industry. So what I did was, every time I was checking at which level are we at, and if it forces us, because it grades you based on the new followers you acquired, the interaction with your posts. So anytime I look at it, I see we normally are between number 3 and number 4. So it gives me idea of what to do, and part of the thing is it shows us the number of posts others are making to make them stay at number 1 and number 2. So I say, okay, if these people are doing 10 posts per day, let me also do 10 posts per day. If they are doing 15, if they are responding within 5 minutes to comments, let me also start to respond within this time. But I was checking our social media pages, despite the fact that you guys are now how many? 5. And the last time, in fact, all the jobs from HOS, none of them have been posted on any of the pages. I just checked that. Find out the top people in the different that you want to benchmark, and let's see what are they doing that we need to adopt. And also in terms of our skill level, everybody, people under you, what are the skill level, what is the assessment of the people under you? Princess Bello, on a scale of 1 to 5, where is she? Belikis, on a scale of 1 to 5, where is she? Emanuela, on a scale of 1 to 5, where is she? Same way too with Chinenye. The other people under you, on a scale of 1 to 5, where are they? So if you know that this person is on level 2, it's okay, I want you by the end of the month to get to level 3. These are the new skills I expect you to acquire. These are the areas you are not getting it right. I want you to fix this loophole, and I want you to get it, because I expect you to get to this particular level. Like I told you, I had to step back on getting new clients because I asked myself, do we have the capacity to handle them? If we get more clients in what we are doing, it will cause us more crisis because we can't satisfy them the way they ought to be satisfied. And which tells us that if you are afraid to get new customers, or the more customers you are getting, the more crisis you are having in your business, it simply tells you that you are on a lower level. Because when you have the right capacity inside, no matter the number of customers that come, you know that yes, they will be satisfied. That even if we need more hands while they are here, we'll be satisfying them as we try to get more hands to support. But if half a customer comes in, the other ones that you are managing, everything collapses. It means you're on level 2 and you are going down instead of going up. So let's work on that as we now come to the main performance for the week. I hope I made sense to everybody.